Hey, it's Kevin DeWitt here, and welcome to another tip, trick, or technique session. In this session, we're going to talk about cymbal swells. So firstly, if you are new to my channel and new to my videos and you like what you see, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. So cymbal swells. Now, I'll guarantee you have heard this in hundreds of songs, or thousands, or millions, depending on how much music you listen to. They're everywhere. And sometimes you may not even notice them, especially if you're not really listening. You know, when I say really listening, there's two ways to listen to music. You can listen to music as just somebody enjoying the music, you know, singing along, listening, blah, blah, blah. You can listen to it in more detail as somebody that's critiquing a song, or as a mix engineer or anything else, where you're actually listening to every little component and you're picking out bits and pieces. You're picking out, you know, little tambourine hits here, little shakers here, little cymbal swells, you know, whatever. You could be hearing all these and picking out where they are in the mix, left, right, and all that sort of stuff. So these are the sort of things that get added to songs to add impact, and they're not necessarily the main element. Now, sometimes a cymbal swell can be, because it can be something that can bring you out of a break or bring you into a break. It can basically stop the song, you know, whatever. It can be used numerous ways. But you want to look for places, or try experiment in places in your song for these that just going to add that little bit of extra sauce on top of your song. And, you know, these are the things that can take it from, you know, your home amateurish sounding song to getting closer to professional sounding. You know, this is where they're going. They're taking it to these little extra levels by adding extra little spice and sauce, or whatever you want to call it, on top. All right, so instead of just talking about it here, let's just get into it, and I'll show you how I add them to a mix, and then you can take it from there. All right, so we've got a song here, and this is just an example song. Okay, so this song here, I did not add any cymbal swells or anything like that. So it's not to say it couldn't add them in. I just didn't do it on this song. I didn't feel the need to. But I'm going to use this as an example of the technique of doing it. It may not be the appropriate song for it, but hopefully you'll get an idea of how to do it. Now, the first thing I'm going to do in the case of this one here is I'm just going to duplicate this track here, the cymbal drums, and I'm just going to actually delete the audio. Now, there's obviously a couple of ways we can do cymbal swells. One is where we sort of create our own, and another one is where we just get samples. Now, in both regards, we may still end up getting samples one for the other. In an ideal situation, you might take an existing cymbal out of the existing drum kit. So in the case of this song here, you might listen to the cymbal track. So in the case of this one, I'm not going to use that because this is just a hi-hat track. All right, so for the sake of this, I don't have a clean cymbal track out of this, because the only one I've got is the overheads, because this cymbal track here is just hi-hat. And in this overhead here, we have kick and snare and everything else going into the cymbals. So it's not a great cymbal to be able to use for this. So what I need to do is I need to find myself a cymbal, and generally what I'll do is just grab a sample. And most DAWs will have samples. If yours doesn't, you can download cymbal tracks in lots of various places. So what we're going to do is we just want to find one that sort of suits the song. let's go with this one here. So I'm just dragging that over, and we're just going to get rid of that. So what we've got is we've got this. Okay, nice. So let's just make sure we put a bit of a fade on here. And just for this example, I'm going to put it to the start of the song, if I can find it. Now what I'm going to try first off, just out of curiosity, is I'm just going to try and actually just straight out reverse it. And depending on your DAW will depend on how you do that, but in my case, it's just the simple thing of right-clicking on the audio and going reverse. Okay, so what I would probably do, okay, that actually doesn't sound too bad. I don't mind that. But I'm gonna undo that first, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna duplicate the track. And now to make sure that it's a true duplicate and not just a replica of it, I'm going to bounce the selection so it creates a new drum part, because in Cubase, if I was to reverse one of these without doing this, it would reverse both of them. So now what I'm going to do is I've got one way and the other one I'm going to reverse. As soon as I find it, there we go. So then I'm going to put that in its place there. And the reason I kept this one here is because I still, if you listen to this here, sounds good. It's got that reverse sound, but you're missing sort of the crash component of it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to line these up and we'll do a bit of a crossfade and we'll see what that sounds like. It's close. Let's take that fade away. And I'm just going to trim that in a little bit there. And I'll trim that in a little bit there. And we'll see if we join them together like that. So now we get the trail on the other side as well. So we've sort of got that cymbal swell. And we've done that simply with duplicating a cymbal hit twice and reversing one side and the other. So now what we get, and we could bounce those to be together. And now you just need to find the place for it to go into the mix and get it to the right volume. Okay, so that's not too bad. I'm sort of missing the crash of it though, the actual sort of hit. So I'm just wondering if we did it that way, would that sound any better? That's not too bad at all, but it doesn't quite blend very well, but it's pretty close. And it's a matter of playing with it to get it to the right spot. And then basically you could just, if you like that and it's working, grab the two tracks there and just bounce them again. And now you've got your one part that you can copy and place everywhere you like. Now, of course, the second way to do this, since you've gone to all the trouble to find yourself a sample, would be, can you just find a sample of a cymbal swell already? And, you know, sometimes they can be quite easy to find. and you can find them in different styles. So you can see here automatically I've just done a search through mine and I've found a few here. I've got a pop one, R&B. That sounds quite authentic, so I'm going to drag that over. Okay, we're going to delete our other one because this one sounded quite nice. And then we're just going to line it up to the right spot. So it's a very fast lead up, this one. So then you can just, if you don't like that, you can find another one. Okay, that one there's nice. So you might get rid of that. So, okay, it didn't quite work, that one. I prefer this one. Bring it in. Again, as I said, line it up. Get it to exactly the spot you want. It's a longer one. So the lead up was fine, but if you found the lead up was a little bit too long, just trim the front off, do a bit of a fade. And if you thought the end was a bit too long, same thing, just trim the end off. Get it to the perfect way you want it. And just set the volume to taste. And then obviously you can copy that and place it in other sections of the song. You just have to find where the breaks are, where the points are that you want to do transitions. So that might be another section there because it might be a change from another part. And obviously you can use different swells for different parts. You might prefer the shorter one for somewhere else, different style, different sound even. You know, you can go for a different cymbal sound. You're not locked into one or the other. And you can do that as many times through the song as you like, or could you just do it just once, just for that intro or just for an outro, whatever it is. So you can use either technique. Obviously, if you can just get your hands on some samples of a swell, it can work the best. But if you want to be authentic to the drum kit that's in the song, then if you can get a cymbal hit out of the song, then that's best because it's going to perfectly match the sound of the cymbals already in the kit. But like in the case that I've got here, it was just not possible to get that out. So resort to samples or whatever you want. And as you do this over time, collect samples, get things like that. If you work on other songs and they happen to have cymbal crashes, you know, grab the samples for that. So there you go. That is cymbal swells and adding them to your mix. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. Let me know what you think of my technique, what I've done, etc. Do you use them in your mixes? Are you planning on using them in your mixes if you haven't before? Are you going to experiment with them? Do you have your favorite sort of technique, sound, plugins, whatever? Let me know in the comments. Love to hear your opinions. If you do have any questions about this or what I've done or anything else, please feel free to put it in the comments again. Love to help wherever I can. Again, if you liked the video, please click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell to be notified of all my future videos. Hopefully the video has been helpful. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.